Oh, it's 5:30, and we'll call our meeting to order, the Aberdeen City Council for Tuesday, January 22. Carl?
Councilmember Remley.
Here.
Ronayne.
Here.
Bundsman.
Here.
Slate Hansen.
Here.
Johnson.
Here.
Bunceness.
Here.
Olson.
Here.
Rux.
Here.
Mayor Leifson.
Here, the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And we need a motion to approve last week's minutes, please.
Moved.
Second. Motion, Bunceness, and second by Olson. If there are no changes, all in favor of approving, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Well, Lynn and I attended the state CVB, or the state convention, tourism convention last week, and we were pleased to be at the table that was getting the awards, and two of them for Aberdeen. And the first, Casey, why don't you just tell us a little bit about your award for the CVB and what you did to win it.
Well, thank you for allowing us to come be part of this. We didn't really do a whole lot. It was the community of Aberdeen that helped win this award. All the way down from our support for our city council members, to the hoteliers, to the restaurants, to the staff of the CVB and the volunteers. We all banded together to promote Aberdeen to the hunters when they travel in, to the best of our ability, to Aberdeen standards. And this is the city of Aberdeen. This is their award. We are lucky enough to receive it for 2018. We've actually received this 5 out of 10 years. So we were the first recipients. We set the bar high. We took a couple years off to re-nest, and then we won it 3 years in a row, back to back to back. And then we took a couple years off again, and we were lucky enough to win it this year. So. There is another award recipient in the room who was, we're very ecstatic for them winning their award, and this wasn't even on our radar. So thank you to everybody, City Council, the City of Aberdeen, especially all the volunteers that made this happen. We just appreciate it, and we're happy enough to bring this home. So thank you. No. That's for you guys. But Carl does have a video. I'd love to have him play if we could. Video submission for our Rooster Rush presentation for state tourism.
Good.
Come on, Tom. Great ending.
That's all we needed to win it. So.
Is this something we can just find on your site?
Yeah, we could throw a link up there. I can forward the link to you.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay. Yep. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. I can start thinking about what you're going to add for next year.
We
huh?
already have some ideas put in place. So
All
yes,
right.
we have the ability to up our game.
Okay. The other award was related to Wiley Park. Doug?
Thank you.
We found out last Monday that we were receiving an award through the Department of Tourism. We were very pleased to hear that. It's actually the Excellence in Tourism Innovation Award, and it's one that recognizes attractions that I guess are innovative in their approach to programming and activities, and I think in just developing the park in general is probably why we received that. So I know Mark Hoven, Mark Grote, Don Thorstensen, our concessions manager, came to the banquet. We accepted the award. Appreciate Lynn being a part of that as well. And, really need to thank our staff, Parks Division, Recreation Division, because they do a great job maintaining the park, and our Recreation Division in particular with programming, weekly activities, special events. So I think, that really is what we were selected for, just because of all the programming and what we do at the park. So like Casey, it's really a community award because it's not something that we've done as a department, solely on our own. Obviously, we've had some terrific partners along the way, Sertoma Club. As I accepted the award, I made sure to mention them because over the years they've done so much, from the inception of the park. They helped fund the master plan actually for Storybook Land of Oz. So they've been there from the beginning and have just done a tremendous job. And our private partners within the park too, I know the Novstrips do a great job running their concession. John Kirsten running Rollout, he does a terrific job with the bike and inline skate rentals. I did mention the mayor and councils. I mean, over the 40-plus years that Storybook Land in particular has been developed, it hasn't been without a lot of support from the mayors and councils throughout the development of that park. So, it's really something we're proud of, and hopefully, I know the community is proud of it too. So, appreciate all of your support.
You listed a number of dollars that Sertoma Club has contributed. That was amazing.
Bob Grumman's got it down to the penny, maybe. I'm not sure, but I think it's close to $10 million when you look at the castle and 6 rides and visitor center, and it's just all of the different displays, over 60 different displays they've had sponsors for. So it is a significant amount.
It was nice too. We had the opportunity for both awards to have our new governor read through a lengthy list of accomplishments for both, with the praise attached to that. So that was good that everybody else got to hear about it.
Right. Yep. All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Deserves our applause too. I think that.
Okay, next item on the agenda is our consent calendar with items A through D of routine city business.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion Ruxin, second by Remley. Questions on any of those? All in favor of approving them, then say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Under new business, the first item A is a petition to vacate a public right-of-way. Brett?
This is a 120-foot by 16-foot wide public alley that is located between 402 Illinois Street South and 423 Harvard Street South. Petitioners are requesting to vacate it. It's an unused alley. It's never been developed. They're just wanting to add it into their property. Staff recommends approval, as does Planning Commission, with the stipulation that they plat their properties to include that vacated alley.
Moved. Second.
Motion Business, second by Olson. Any questions on this? All in favor of approving that petition request, then say aye.
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 Opposed, no. Motion carries. Item B is the appointment of the city representative to the Aberdeen-Brown County Regional Railroad Authority, and our city attorney brings this.
Thank you, Mayor. The Aberdeen-Brown County Regional Railroad Authority is a partnership with the city of Aberdeen and counties of Brown, Beetle, Edmonds, and Spink. And Angie has been assisting me ride herd on this group of people to make sure that we've got all of our appointed representatives in place. And I look to see that we're the ones right now that need those appointments made. The statute allows for a 3-year appointment. Historically, we've just had the mayor. We would like both somebody designated as the lead representative and an alternate in this instance. So we do meet annually with that group.
Would it be appropriate that the deputy mayor be the alternate?
That's up to you folks and the availability, I
As long as
imagine.
you promise to go.
If someone would like to put that in the form of a motion, that would work, I think.
We have a resolution here.
I
that we
do in
need
the
to approve?
resolution, yep.
I would move that the Mayor Mike Leveson, be appointed as its representative, and Deputy Mayor Rob Ronayne be appointed as alternate.
Second.
Motion Ronayne, second by Rex. Questions about this at all? All in favor, then say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. The next item for business is Rich, you are here to get rid of your old stuff. And
Yep, getting rid of the old stuff. So I'm here to ask council to approve resolution 19-01-03R, and that's to dispose of the former passenger boarding bridge manufactured by Dewbridge. The equipment was purchased through AIP program 20-2000, year 2000, and all grant requirements have been met. The FAA has released it, the state has released it. It has reached its useful life, and in addition, the manufacturer of the bridge is no longer in business, so parts are extremely difficult to locate. As part of the current contract with the new passenger boarding bridge, JBT, under AIP 38-2018, the contractor will be disposing of the old passenger boarding bridge.
Move to approve this.
motion Johnson and second by Slade Hansen. Questions, anyone?
My only question would be, when is the new bridge
It
installed?
should be, it's being installed today.
It's
they're
it's very cold when you have to walk
It
down
is
the
very
steps.
cold. Yeah, yeah. The contractors are telling me that we should be getting our training on Friday. So they're moving pretty quickly. They've been working the last 2 Saturdays. You know, we all had a holiday off, but they didn't take a holiday. So I had some guys out there doing escorts and security purposes out there. So they're moving through it pretty quick.
Any other questions? All in favor of approving that surplusing, then say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Item D, this is the appointed time for a hearing on the application for a retail malt beverage and South Dakota Farm Wine and Retail Wine and Cider license for the LLC doing business as Eskimo Joe's Bar and Grill on Riverside Drive. I see no one here to oppose this, so I'd entertain a motion from the council to approve.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion Johnson, second by Remley. Questions or comments?
You know, I do have a question. First of all, is there anybody here that is appearing on behalf of this entity?
Mr. Ronayne, I represent Eskimo Joe's.
That's what I wondered.
June 3.
Would you introduce yourself, please? And
My name is Stacy Johnson. I'm an attorney with Richardson Law Office. I represent Eskimo Joe's and the underlying entity of Jew 3 LLC.
Okay, and I'm just curious, I did go back and pull up the Articles of Incorporation. Who's the present member of that LLC?
There are 2 members. It would be Kevin Jolly and Jerry Buttry.
Okay, so it's been transferred from Ms. Mandel.
That's correct.
Okay,
And,
that's all
and Councilman, I do have, I was provided a bill of sale and assignment formally executed by the parties to that transfer.
Okay, thank you.
okay.
Any further questions for me?
Any other questions for her or related to the application? If not, all those in favor of approving that application say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you for coming. The next item is item E, license to permit encroachment on the alley for the rear entrance at 21 North Main Street. Ron?
Thank you, Mayor. Again, I was approached by our building inspection department to help them clarify a situation at 21 Main Street North with a building permit. We have a requirement for the rear building entrance that it have another encroachment upon the alley, and based upon the layout there, it appeared that the most optimal way to do that would be to provide that encroachment for the 8.8 feet behind the building. Again, I am recommending approval of a license agreement as opposed to an easement. I think that makes it clear to the parties that this is something that is not a permanent.
Moved.
Second.
Motion, Ronan, and second by Slade Hansen to grant this permit. Questions?
How long is this permit good for then?
The license agreement, by its nature, is one that can be rescinded if the council ever needed to do that. And also, we allow for it to be pulled by if there's a change in ownership. If these things were to come up, and that the use of the loading dock area was no longer needed.
That was my question.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I commend you. I think this is a smart way to do it, but you've also got a well-written document, and I appreciate it.
Other questions or comments? If not, all those in favor of granting that license to permit, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Item F, Carl brings us a request for property tax abatement. Carl?
Thank you, Mayor. This is another request from the county auditor's office for abatement on a piece of property that the mobile home has been moved away and the minimal taxes that are assessed are asked to be abated. You can see the city's share is $34.69.
Moved.
Second.
Motion Bunseness, second by Lunsman. Questions, anyone? All in favor of granting that, then say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Item G, also, Carl, a request from the computer department for desktops and notebooks.
Thank you, Mayor. With the 2019 budget allotment, we are requesting permission to buy off of the state contract for the different desktops and notebooks that we need throughout the city. We do this annually.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion Ruck, second by Johnson. You have the list and the prices there in your agenda. Questions about any of this? All in favor of giving that authorization, then say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, no. Motion carries. Peggy is here from our wastewater plant, our water reclamation plant.
It's all so confusing.
It is. Digester boiler replacement, Peggy?
Right. I came before you in December with the emergency replacement of the burner for this boiler. Well, now we've got into a new fiscal year, so now we are kind of stuck with only one boiler that is suitable to fit the new burner. So this is where we're at now, is a request to purchase the boiler that goes along with the burner.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion Bunsen, second by Ronan. Questions on this, anyone? All in favor, then say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. And the next item is approval of a change order for the facility. Peggy?
This is a change order and final payment request for the 2016 improvements that we have done over the last couple of years. Final payment in the amount of $133,038.88. The change order results from additional coatings, different types of coatings that we had to use. Some of the wet wells that were done had not been touched since construction, and these were constructed in 1986. So that's the change order, which you guys have already approved. Now we're just requesting pay request for it.
And if I could also add, the correction shows a deduction of $10,000, and that is for liquidated damages on this particular project. And I wanted to inform the council that the sole reason for that is because of the outstanding record keeping that Peggy Batten keeps. She was able to document throughout the project any delays. Because of the lengthy delay that was involved, the engineer overseeing the project did recommend liquidated damages, and the contractor eventually acceded to that. So this is a testament to her stewardship of this particular project.
Move the change order number 2.
Second.
Motion Bunsen, second by Johnson to approve the change order of
And final
$10,000 and
final
the
payment.
subsequent payment then of $133,038. Any questions on it? Carl?
Councilmember Remley,
Aye.
Ronayne,
Aye.
Lunsman,
Aye.
Slate Hansen,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Bunceness,
Aye.
Olson,
Aye.
Rux,
Aye.
Mayor Leeson.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good work, Peggy.
Thank you.
As always.
Thanks, Rob.
Item J, Robin, you have a change order for the 8th Avenue project.
We're asking for a change order for the fencing for the safety fence that went along the bike path along 8th Avenue. And that's in the amount of $57,000. And then the final payment, number 5, which includes the retainage that we had on the project. So,
Move approval.
Second.
Motion Ruck, second by Bunsness, and the final payment request $77,485. Questions, anyone? Carl?
Councilmember Rux?
Aye.
Olson?
Aye.
Bunceness?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
Slate Hansen?
Aye.
Lunsman?
Aye.
Ronayne?
Aye.
Remley?
Aye.
Mayor Leveson?
Aye, motion carries. The bills presented for payment tonight from city departments, $442,700. Northwest Energy Utilities, $24,123. GNR Controls, Inc., $1,787 to replace sensors and switch at the ARC, and $3,977 for boiler service and repairs at the airport. Grote Roofing, roof of the Civic Theater repair, $522. The ARC Master Plan update, $1,335 to Michael Burns Architects. Wellmark Insurance payment, $57,988. UPS charges, $112. Verizon phone charges, $31. NVC charges at the airport, $307. A water lab testing payment of $51 to Water and Environmental Engineering. Century Business Products copier agreement, $70. South Dakota One call locating fee of $56. Banner Associates water treatment reclamation improvements, $59.86. Wright and Sudlow, $480 for work with for snow removal. National Employee Benefits January premium of $592.
move to approve.
Second.
Motion Lunsman and second by Olson. Questions on any of those?
Councilmember Remley?
Aye.
Ronayne?
Aye.
Lunsman?
Aye.
Slate Hansen?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
Bunceness?
Aye.
Olson?
Aye.
Rux?
Aye.
Mayor Leveson?
Aye, motion carries. Item L is payroll for January 6 to 19 and City Sheriff Social Security, Old Age, Survivors Insurance, Retirement, Health, and Life.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion Rux, second by Olson. Carl?
Councilmember Rux?
Aye.
Olson?
Aye.
Bunceness?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
Slate Hansen?
Aye.
Lunsman?
Aye.
Ronayne?
Aye.
Remley?
Aye.
Mayor Leveson?
Aye, motion carries. Chief, before we get to the city manager, I would guess we could have done it after, but we had some difficulty with the dispatch today. Maybe you might want to give us an update on that.
Certainly. Early this afternoon, we were notified that the 911 system, or the 911 line, was not being received in the Brown County Dispatch Center. So they identified that. I think there was maybe 15 minutes of time from what they calculated, maybe that it was down and they didn't know it was down. So they worked on it right away. It was determined there was a fiber optic cable problem. It was either cut or there was a piece that was a problem with that, and they were able to get it fixed, so it's back up online.
Okay.
Yep.
Thanks. Len?
I just have one item. Approximately a month ago, or maybe it was 2 months ago, you inquired about vaping.
Yes.
And the police department is going to do a presentation next week during the city manager's report.
Perfect.
Well, I'm glad you brought it up because I thought of it the other day and I thought, oh, I need to remember. And of course, then I get to meetings and always forget. So thank you.
Lynn doesn't forget. Even when we want him to. Anything from anyone else before we adjourn?
Yeah, one thing. I've been hearing some minor items about snow removal, and the one thing that's creating some hardship for some old people up in my district is that snow piling up on the corners, and the residents are responsible to remove that, and it is very difficult for some of those old people up there to get that job done because it piles up in pretty big piles. And I don't know what the solution is, if there is a solution, but there is concern, and I just wanted to bring that forward.
I get Mike. Over the years, the unfortunate response to that is part of owning a home and owning a property is that if you can't do what's necessary to maintain that property up to standards, then you have to hire somebody to do it. And that's not what people want to hear, and it's not what maybe they can always afford. But for whatever good that answer is, that's our answer. Yeah.
Mayor, weren't you doing snow removal at one time?
Yeah. I was younger then.
It's a difficult thing for us too, because we're trying to figure out how to get this done in a timely manner. The streets are our first priority, and make sure we get things opened up as quickly as we can. The aftermath of some of these storms, you get into some of those 8-inchers. We're still working on cul-de-sacs, some of the dead end areas 2 weeks after the fact. We're still clearing out alleys. We're trying to get, so you get the initial onslaught of the snow, but the crews are working long past that point. It's not like they're sitting in the shop playing whist, waiting for the next snow to happen. There's lengthy periods of time that they work for doing continued operations. So it's difficult for us to say, well, let's go clear out these areas for these hardships, because we know there's a lot of those out there, but there's no way we can respond in a timely manner to take care of it the way I think everybody would like to see it done.
Do we know about how much a private contractor would charge to dig out one corner?
No idea.
$20 maybe?
It depends. I would imagine it would depend on how much they would be able to do in an area, first of all. Second of all, if they have to haul it away versus being able to pile it in a yard. There's vast differences in how they would look at approaching charging that.
Okay.
But now somebody who listened to our meeting tonight will know that there's an opportunity for business. So maybe somebody will get out there and go knock on some doors. I know exactly what you're talking about. I don't personally know because I don't shovel snow. But my husband gets out there. We are on a corner.
Poor guy.
And we are on a corner. We have a hydrant, and we have a driveway on one side and sidewalk on the other. So I understand what those folks are going through when I see my husband get out there and do that on the emergency snow route. So I understand, but like Mike said, those are the responsibilities of being a homeowner, and I think the city does an outstanding job with our snow removal, and so citizens do have to do their part, and we can't do everything.
A few years ago, a former neighbor where I grew up, called me and said, I got a fire hydrant that is buried with snow. Can you come over and remove the snow? And so I went over and because I really like the individual, and I went over and removed the snow. She's just a special lady. So I mean, maybe the 9 of us can form some kind of volunteer group.
Great idea.
Huh?
Great idea.
I don't have a day job.
Maybe.
Anything else from anyone?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Motion Ronayne, second by Johnson. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.